grassroots, community-based organization founded in 1979 and a leading member of the Reimagine LIPA campaign. More than 30 years ago, the Long Island Power Authority was created as a public authority, nonprofit entity to address the failures of the privately run Long Island Lighting Company after the debacle of the Shore nuclear power plant and years of high rates and poor service. But the public-private model that was put into place first with National Grid and now with PSEG has been incredibly expensive, unreliable, and structurally flawed. That was made all the more clear in 2020 during Tropical Storm Isaias, which left 645,000 ratepayers without power for on average 2 to 7 days. We know now that PSEG lied about its preparedness for the storm, its immediate response to it, and the number of upgrades that it made afterwards. Long Island and Rockaway ratepayers deserve better, and luckily, a brighter future is in sight. Because of the work of this campaign, we are on a path to making LIPA fully public. Last year, we passed legislation and secured funding for a legislative commission responsible for developing the roadmap to a restructured LIPA. This commission has marked the end of decades of disastrous public-private partnerships in the management of our electric utility. Over the last year, the work of the commission has reconfirmed what many have pointed out for years. Long Island and Rockaway ratepayers will be better off without PSEG. It has shown that a fully public LIPA will lower rates and provide more transparency and accountability with more opportunities for local input. Going fully public will allow LIPA to better and more fairly manage the transition to a 100% renewable energy future in order to meet New York State's climate mandates and better position LIPA to more directly meet the needs of disadvantaged communities. And as affirmed by numerous evaluations over the years, converting LIPA to a fully public model clearly leads to savings, ranging from $48 to $78 million annually. We are here today to release a sign-on letter with signatures from 100 diverse groups in support of the work of the LIPA Commission. Yeah. It urges Governor Hochul and the New York State Legislature to end the private management of the Long Island Power Authority by PSEG in favor of a publicly managed utility. It includes community organizations, environmental groups, labor unions, businesses, chambers of commerce, indigenous groups, faith groups, and many others. It demonstrates the widespread support, both regionally and statewide, for a fully public LIPA. Our campaign is fighting for democratic reforms, more equitable rate structures, and community oversight of the utility, which we'll be testifying about this week during the final round of public hearings the Commission will hold in Suffolk, Nassau, and the Rockaways. With recent news of PSEG's egregious executive bonuses, failed performance targets, and unsolicited lobbying against public power, there has never been a better time to act. Today, we will hear from several organizations who are signatories to the letter and what their stake is in ensuring public power for this region. Get Chink going before we go.
Right. What do we want? Public power! When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Public power!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Public power!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Public power!
When do we want it?
Now!
We'll see.
Hey,
Our first speaker is Guy Jacob, an at-large delegate for Sierra Club, New York State Atlantic chapter.
Woo! Hey, guy.
Good morning. Good afternoon. The Sierra Club fully supports the transition to a public life. And when I say the Sierra Club, I'm not just talking about the Long Island Sierra Club or the New York State Atlantic Chapter Sierra Club, but the national organization as well. Some organizations have a structure in which they have independent affiliates, chapters that act independently but are affiliated with another organization. That's not the way the Sierra Club operates. We are one organization, and that means that when the Sierra Club endorses the LIPA plan, that means that it was signed off by the National Club, by the state-level organization, and the Long Island Sierra Club. And our national organization is very interested in what happens on Long Island. They know it's a model that could be replicated throughout the United States. Certainly our New York State Atlantic chapter is very interested, and the members in the groups throughout the state are very interested to see what happens, because again, they know this is the kind of model that can be replicated elsewhere. So we appreciate the work of the coalition. We appreciate and support the efforts of the Reimagine LIPA Commission. And once again, the entire organization of the Sierra Club fully endorses and supports this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Joe Sackman, a steering community member of Long Island Activists.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Good afternoon. Thanks, Ryan. I'm Joe Sackman, Long Island Activist and your Progressive Action Network. From Montauk to the Rockaways, Long Islanders are facing economic hardships and an affordability crisis that makes living and thriving here harder and harder each year. With frequent dangerous storms and an already outdated electric grid, we can add uncertainty and risk to life and property as well. The right step forward is bringing economic stability and safety to Long Islanders and transitioning the Long Island Power Authority to a fully public utility that will serve all residents of Long Island first. We will see lower rates along with estimated savings between 50 and 70 million annually. Long Islanders will see more accountability from their electric utility company when it comes to services and reliability, along with greater local control. Long Island Activists strongly supports LIPA going fully public for the public good. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you, Joe.
Our next speaker is John Hyland from the Professional Staff Congress, PSEG, Environmental Justice Work.
Woo!
Good afternoon, folks, and thanks to LIPC and the rest of the groups for organizing this. I'm John Hyland, and I'm a retiree member of the Professional Staff Congress, CUNY, AFT Local 2334. Our union with 30,000 members represents the faculty and professional staff at City University of New York. I live in Merritt. I've worked for 33 to 20 years in the water utility. There are several thousand CUNY workers living in Long Island communities. I don't think a lot of people are aware of that. There's a real connection between Long Island and City University. And there are almost thousands of Long Island residents who have studied and received their degrees at CUNY colleges, thus are direct interest in this. Our union and its Environmental Justice Committee supports the roadmap to public power devised by a commission established by the legislature. This project will end PSEG's running of the region's electrical utility and establish a better system. More transparency, accountability, lower rates, and a commitment to environmental sustainability and justice. So important for Long Island communities. Private utilities have higher rates because of higher executive salaries. Just take a look at the article in Newsday, I think it was yesterday, about Long Island executive salaries. Also, they have marketing and advertising costs, and the need to generate profit to satisfy stockholders. Like public libraries, public schools, public colleges and universities, a public electrical power agency is open to public monitoring and input. You want to, thought it occurred to me, compare the cost of a college education at a CUNY or SUNY school and one of the private institutions. Case closed. Its priority, the public agency, its priority is serving the people, not meeting the demands of Wall Street. Its vision and goal is stable, long-term effectiveness, not quarterly corporate bottom lines. Labor unions protect and advance the needs and interests of its workers, its members, most of whom are Long Island. They will be and already are part of the process of transition to private PSEG and public life. We in the PSC are proud to be part of this important community project, and we look forward to working with you to bring it to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you, John. We now have LIPC's Executive Director, Lisa Tyson.
There are over 100 organizations across Long Island and statewide who support public power. These are the real community members. Why did they sign on? Because PSEG is expensive. We waste $80 million a year on 18 people. We don't have to do that. PSEG gives bad service. In storms, like right now during hurricane season, we are not prepared for another Sandy. We still do not have a communication system after millions and millions of dollars that's been given to them to fix it. They are shutting off people their electricity, and they have closed their offices like this one we are standing in front of. There are so much people with debt from their bills for bad service to pay for their shareholders and their stockholders. It is time for change. This April 1st, we expect the state to pass in the budget to finally have legislation to move away from PSEG and to have real public power so that our communities can thrive. We can afford our electric bills, we can afford food, we can afford our medicines. It is time now to make a big change, and we need our elected officials to do it.
Can you identify yourself, please, and your title, please?
Lisa Tyson, LISA-TYSON, Long Island Progressive Coalition Executive Director.
Thank you.
Yep.
Our next speaker is Charles Nieves, who's a member of the Public Power New York Coalition.
The Public Power New York Coalition is proud to stand by our partners organizing on the Reimagine LIPA banner as they fight to truly bring about a democratized and fully public Long Island Power Authority. For too long, LIPA has outsourced responsibility for the grid to private interests, with PSEG merely being the latest entity to place shareholder profits over the best interests of the people they're supposed to serve. As Long Islanders are unfortunately well aware, this has haunted ratepayers in the form of some of the highest energy bills in the region and country, and lack of investment in the energy as witnessed in the aftermath of Tropical Storm Cycles. Now, with the Commission to determine how to bring about a publicly accountable electric utility underway, and the final round of hearings taking place over the next 2 weeks, we stand ready to support Reimagine LIPA. With our first major win of getting the Build Public Renewables Act passed into law, we look forward to this next crucial victory in a long fight to fully bring about public power.
Thank you so much, Charles. Our final speaker is Shelley Saxton with Action Long Island.
Back to the chair. It's a day that needs to be remembered, first of all. That's September the 11th. I was watching a little bit of it on TV today, and it's an important day to just stop for a moment, think about it, listen. This is a journey for Action Long Island that began over 30 years ago, when we first looked at the energy rates here on Long Island and how they continued to escalate. And we looked at the situation with the Long Island Lighting Company at that time, and we said that they needed to be replaced. What we didn't recognize was that there was so much going on behind the scenes from a political perspective. A lot of lobbying, a lot of money being spent, but not being spent in the best interest of the ratepayers of Long Island. We pushed very hard for the takeover of the lighting company, and it did not happen unless and until it was a bankrupt company and the state of New York had to bail it out. Well, here we are now 30 some odd years later, and an opportunity once again. The lobbying dollars once again are being spent, and they're spent not in the best interest of the ratepayers of Long Island. Action Long Island stepped forward 30 years ago and said it had to happen. This is a journey that needs to be completed. We've never, since the Long Island Lighting Company's time, been run, the energy system been run by a company that is actually a Long Island company. We had Brooklyn Union Gas. We had National Grid. We had PSEG, a Jersey company. Now it's time for Long Islanders to take control with the help of their elected officials who need to now all step forward and say it's time to lower the energy rates here on Long Island. Once those energy bills come through, and you're going to all get them, you and me, with all those electric bills that will be driven up, not just by the rates, but by the heat. Now it's time for all of us to band together and call. Don't wait. Call your elected officials. Let them know that we need their support at this point, and the lobbying is over. It's time to get Long Island Lighting Company back in the hands of Long Island, all of Long Islanders. And a municipalized system is the only way for it to go. This bifurcated system, which was an experiment that has been run for over 30 years, has proven to be a disaster. And now it's time for it to be run by Long Islanders, for Long Islanders, with the support of all their elected officials. And I think we should all call upon them to do this publicly. Thanks very much, and thanks for being here.
Thank you everyone for being with us today. Thank you to the 100 signatories across the region, Long Island, the Rockaways, and statewide who are in support of our fight for public power. We'll see everyone at the hearings for the LIPA Commission this week. Eric, close this out.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, PSEG has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, PSEG has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, PSEG has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, PSEG has got to go. Yeah. Woo, woo.
Now, if there are any questions from the reporters in the audience.
Why is it taking so long to pull this coalition together? I mean, the law was introduced over a year ago to form this. They tried to municipalize in the spring to write the law. Is this in response to the delays and setbacks, or why now?
Sure, yeah. A similar event and initiative, including the sign-on letter gathering process, was in the works before the April hearings, before they were delayed. So no reason to announce it while we knew that there was going to be a delay, and timed it with the resurgence of these newly scheduled hearings.
Do you think there's still enough support among the legislators, the assembly members, and the Senate? I hear there's attempts by PSEG to try and break up support and move support away. Is there still support for these bills?
I think so. I think the process has been unearthing a lot of, there's still a lot of important questions to answer. I think they're going to be answered. This week is an opportunity to do that. And just in short, we know the savings are there. We know that the accountability that will be created through new structures can't really be there. But again, it's about the details. And I think once we get all the details find out, the support will be there because we know it's the right thing.
And do you sense that the governor is supporting something he's spoken to?
It seems like the executive's office is waiting to see how things play out. And I think, again, as things play out, the details come to mind. We see the clear savings, the ability to have more ratepayer accountability, and the details get refined on certain things around governance and labor that will get the support.
Mark, I think the correct question to be asked is, why haven't all the elected officials over 30 years stepped forward? And I think we need to, unfortunately, look at the dollars that are being spent to keep them from stepping forward. I think the issue really is what has taken them so long to step forward. They know what the right thing is.
Any other questions? All right. Matt, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Nice and tight. Come on in.
If I get in there, would you forward that picture to me and you take it on my phone?
Why don't you hold the sign and get in the photo?
Okay.
I'll take the photos.